Flick It podcast.
Halloween Extravaganza.
Number 3. I'm Vox.
I'm Natasha.
We got it right this time. We're introducing ourselves first because you never know. People could be just watching this episode just because they saw what movie we're reviewing.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I loved this movie.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't even know who these people are.
Yeah, and if we never say our names, they'll never know.
Or if we wait till the end and they hated every single thing that we've said about the movie, they're not listening to the end, so they don't even know who we are.
Yeah, but if we don't say our names and they hate it, then they can't come back and bash us.
Except that they know that it's Pick It and Flick It podcast, so they'll just be like, we're never going to listen to them again.
Oh, no.
We watched, as we continue our chug through the Halloween Extravaganza.
Lucky number 13.
Is this number 13?
Yeah.
Okay, because we've been getting our numbers all mixed up and backwards because we watch all of these movies in order.
Yes.
That's what happens. So sometimes we just
in
get
October.
confused. In October.
So.
That's what it is. Anyways, 2021 Till Death, which I thought this was going to be way more of a horror style movie.
Yeah, it was more of a thriller.
But it was thriller, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can have thriller movies and still be in the Halloween spirit.
Yeah, lots of blood.
There was lots of blood. And I got a little anxious in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, so thriller movies do that every now and then. Let me rephrase that. Good thriller movies do that every now and then, and I got anxious during this. The movie stars Megan Fox and other people that we don't know.
Yeah.
So, she was the only name in this movie. Everyone else.
Yeah, everyone else was maybe in, an extra in a movie or so.
Well, the big bad guy who we found out is actually in the Marvel movies. He plays, a Hydra agent who has some screen time, I guess, but
Hail Hydra.
I just didn't care, I guess.
He looked familiar.
He didn't have, an unfamiliar face, but he didn't look familiar to me, so I don't know. But synopsis of the movie, essentially we find out early on that Megan Fox's character is having an affair, and she is ending it, and it's because that it's basically their anniversary, their 11th year anniversary. But we get kind of set up real fast that her husband is a dickhead, and he's a lawyer. And then, come to find out the person that she was having an affair with is actually his coworker as well. So he's a lawyer, and the whole scheme.
No, it's his boss. The man she's having an affair with is her husband's employee.
Oh,
that's his boss. That's Tom.
Tom is the man who's having the affair.
Yeah, it's Tom's boss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he said, "Why? I don't want to see my boss in his underwear." Which honestly,
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways,
first of all, he's dead, so I wouldn't want to see my boss dead.
Yeah.
But if they were dead in their underwear, I wouldn't care that they were in their underwear.
Well, okay, so Tom is the one that. What's Megan Fox's character? What's her name? Yeah.
Do they even say it?
Yeah, they do. Emma? Is it Emma?
Yeah, Emma.
Emma. Okay, so Emma is having an affair with Tom.
Yes.
Tom works for Mark.
Yes.
Mark is Emma's husband. Got it. Here we go. They go out to a lake house to celebrate their 11th anniversary.
Well, so first of all, before they go to celebrate their anniversary, it come to find out she was attacked.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
11 years ago. And I'm assuming that's how they met.
Yeah, because he was her lawyer.
Okay.
Because you find out when she listens to the tape, later on in the movie, there's a tape that's being played, and it's the interview with Mark interviewing her, and he's like, hey, I'm the lawyer that's going to be representing you.
Right. Because
he was appointed by the state because clearly she didn't have any money, which is made quite clear, too, because he says to her, when I first met you, you were nothing.
Right. She says, he says, how are you getting more beautiful with age?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And she's like, I wasn't like this before.
Yeah.
But anyway, at the beginning of the movie, they're celebrating their anniversary, and she goes to his office, and he has the guy that attacked her's file on his desk.
Yeah.
I had thought, my prediction was that she wasn't attacked and that he beat the shit out of her and then framed.
Oh, and they framed someone.
Yes.
Oh, that was a cool one.
But
that's a cool prediction.
Yeah, because I was like, it just seemed like something was off about him, obviously.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead.
Yes. The story unfolds as they go out to the lake house, and bang it out one last time, and then she wakes up in the morning handcuffed to him, and then basically he's like, it's time to wake up, and he shoots himself. He commits suicide, and that's kind of like, that's the big frame that I've always seen from this movie, aside from the cover, which is her laying on the ice with a crack in it.
Covered in blood.
Covered in blood, yeah. The other frame is her like sitting in bed covered in blood, so it's kind of like, I didn't know where it was going to go, which was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't mind like anything that was going on here. Some of it was a little far-fetched, but
yeah.
So that's the synopsis of the story, and the rest of it is her trying to get unhandcuffed, and
Which
then
she didn't. I feel like she didn't really try hard enough.
So here's, I went on a tangent in my notes. Okay?
Yeah, and in person.
Did I?
Yeah, you were saying, why didn't she just break his hand? Why didn't she just do this? Why
Yeah, I
didn't she
guess
do that?
I was kind of pissed about this. So number one, this is my first note. Megan Fox, the first thing you asked me is, you don't find her attractive? Because I don't. She's just like this piece of driftwood for me.
She's very, well, and she doesn't have a lot of emotion.
No, and that's what I wrote. That's what I'm saying. Like, piece of driftwood, right? She's bland. She's boring. She bounces around, like, through all of these different roles that she's had over the years. It's, and as we can hear you drinking. And she's washed up. Like, she's just so fucking boring. Yeah. But the only reason I wanted to watch this movie is because it was actually getting decent reviews. Like, people, because it came out in I don't know what part of 2021 it came out in, but like, it's one of those like, okay, we haven't had like a whole bunch of movies come out that were worth watching, but this one was decent. That's what I had read. So I was like, all right, I'll toss it on the list. That's how bad could it be? Anyways, that was my first note.
Well, I have one, because when she puts her ring on, she doesn't have a diamond.
Yeah, it's just like a band.
Which is weird, because I feel like a girl like her would have a diamond ring.
Especially married to a guy like Mark.
Right.
Because Mark is clearly very controlling, very like in your face, because he was like, oh, you're not wearing the red dress. Well, good, we have plenty of time because we're going back home and you're putting the red dress on.
Right.
You'd think that he would want like to be all blingy and flashy, and
he's not.
And he's not. So that was interesting. But so she's dragging Mark's dead body around because she's handcuffed to him. There are so many things that you could do to get rid of him. First of all, so I went on because she's just like trying all of these things. She was in the house, and she goes upstairs, she goes downstairs, she goes in the basement, she goes out into the garage to find that the car's gas has been siphoned, so she can't get away with that. And I'm like, holy fuck! Like, if you're trying to get a hold of someone, real easy things to do. So I wrote a step-by-step in 3 steps in my notes, okay? Step 1, get him off of you. Smash that wrist in a door frame over and over and over again until it's limp and broken, and you can wiggle that handcuff right off of him. No problem. Have you ever seen a Saw movie? We watched all the Saw movies at least twice. We know. You can smash the shit out of someone's hand.
Well, even trying to close the chain in the door or something, like that might at least wiggle it, like maybe like make it looser. If you do it enough times, that could break the chain.
Yeah. I mean, later on, she does get the right idea because she goes out into the boathouse while she's trying to escape the new bad guys who show up, and uses the anchor for the boat that they have to smash the wrist off, which is great. Good idea. But, like, come on.
We've made it this far without you getting him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, and then I put step number 2, light the house on fire. So, there's electricity still. There's a lot of different things that she could have done in there. Every cabinet has handles on it that she could have easily broken off, shoved into an electrical thing, and hit.
She would have electrocuted herself.
No, there's plenty of things that she could have used. There's cupboards that she was opening up. Shove that motherfucker in the electrical outlet, and then open the cupboard, which is made out of wood, and smash it in there. Not to mention, she was wrapping her feet in her wedding dress that was like being drug around.
So
right?
Why would she have set the house on fire?
Well, because number 1, she's freezing. Number 2, she's trying to alert someone that she's there. That lake house was huge. There was a barn or a garage and a boathouse. So with the house, the barn, with the car in it, and the boathouse, with the boat in it that had gas in it, because later on we find out that there's gas in the fucking boat,
right.
And she's dragging the gas tank all over the place. That fire would have been big enough to not only keep her from freezing, but also alert someone in the area.
Yeah, by the way, it's the middle of winter.
Oh, yeah.
So
winter.
the lake is frozen over, or the pond, I don't think it's a lake. It's not big enough.
It would be a lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's frozen over, so she couldn't have taken the boat and tried to go somewhere.
Right. Oh, yeah. But she took the gas tank out of it.
Yeah.
Which is a great idea. Drag that motherfucker in the house, spray it all over the place, and then light it on fire. You know? Could have done that. And then step 3, I just put wait for someone, because when a house and a garage, a car, a boat, and the boathouse is on fire, someone will notice that shit. Yeah. And then you're saved. Because the bad guys would have been rolling up and being like, holy shit, this entire place is burning to the ground. They were only there for the safe because Mark, before he died, hired the guy who attacked Emma and, oh geez, something's opening in my computer. Hopefully it doesn't freak out the recording here. Oh, no, we're good. All right. But anyways, he hires the guy who attacked Emma to come and rob him.
Well, yeah.
Kind of.
And,
as I snort, I'm so sorry.
why did his office get raided? That was never explained.
Yes, because he was tampering with cases.
Oh, so he was...
So the DA was notified because he tampered with several cases. Tom said that. It was really fast.
Yeah.
It was really like
a
one-line
thing. Well, and also,
thing.
like, if you're in a panic about something, you would grab your phone when you're headed in somewhere.
For sure.
But then he forgot his phone.
Yeah, he was like...
I mean, the movie would have been over very quickly if that were to be the case.
But it was realistic.
Right.
Yeah, because he said he forgot it on the charger.
Right.
The story, like, continues. They run around. She's hiding from them. At one point, she uses the keys for the car to alert to set the car alarm off. So they go running out to kind of investigate that. It was this weird, like, push and pull. Mind you, this movie was only an hour and a half. So it wasn't, like, super long, but I still felt like it was dragging at some points. Like, there was a couple of low spots where I was like, holy shit.
Oh, really?
They're just running around. Like, she went from the boathouse to the garage, ran around the car twice, under the car, into the basement, up the stairs, and then back down out into the garage, and then into the attic. It was just like it was like a cat and mouse game.
Yeah. And
it was too much. It was too long. There could have been a lot more that would have happened in that period of time instead of her just being like, I'm gonna go over here and I gotta run in here now and I gotta hide from these people over here. Like, shit, man.
Yeah. And
it took that long for her to get into the attic, and grab a weapon because there was golf clubs and stuff up there.
You think she would have checked I mean, it wouldn't have been easy for her to go up the stairs, to go up those stairs with him.
Not with him, but after she got him off him. But then the other thing is she was hiding in the boat, right? And they're like investigating. Why don't you just pop out and smack someone in the face with that fucking anchor? You just chopped your dead husband's hand off.
Imagine there were two of them, so if she would have attacked one, then the other one could have attacked her.
Yeah, but there was one in there by himself to begin with. It was just some weird, like, decision-making things at the end of it all. But the climax of it all, I kind of called it.
Yeah. It was very predictable. I mean,
pretty predictable.
We knew that she was going to make it out alive the whole time.
Yeah, obviously. She ends up, like, getting into Tom's car, using Tom's phone, which was charging in the car, to call 911. But they're out in the middle of nowhere, so it's going to take forever to get out there.
And while she dials 911, the bad guy, Bobby, pulls her out of the car, smashes the window and pulls her out of the car.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
He just, like, Hulk strength the car window.
Well, and he fell through drywall onto hardwood floor.
After being hit in the face.
Right.
With a golf club.
You wouldn't think that he would just get up and be running around willy-nilly.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, he would probably be a little bit hurt.
And then on top of that, he kills his brother.
Yeah, on accident.
On accident, after having several arguments with him. Because his brother was kind of just like the tag-along. He wanted the diamonds that they were supposed to be getting.
But the whole time, he's like, let's just go. It's not worth it. Let's just leave.
He was like, nah.
Which sucks. So I put Rip Jimmy on here.
I figured you did because you asked what his name was.
But the whole time, he's like, this is all her fault. This is all her fault. Like, dude, you're the one that attacked her.
Because he was trying to steal her camera.
Right.
Is what I got out of it.
But it's just like you attacked her in the first place, and now you're saying that it's her fault that you were put away in jail. Like, don't attack someone.
Yeah. And then
like,
you won't get stabbed in the eye. Twice.
Right. The other eye.
Yeah. So, anyways, the end, after Jimmy dies, she goes out, pretty much tries to escape onto the lake, which is kind of dumb.
Which I did not understand why she was going that way.
Especially because she just got stabbed in the leg, too. So
right, there's not really much movement.
Okay, so she was she got in the car and got the car started, ran him over twice, and then escaped out the window after the car slid into the lake.
Yeah.
It was very fast. But, like, you'd think that she would go the other way. Instead, she's, like, crawling out onto the lake.
But where is she supposed to go, I guess?
I don't know. And then, of course, they fall through the ice.
Because the guy is stabbing the ice.
Yes. And slamming her on the ice repeatedly. And, all while Bobby is now handcuffed to Mark because that happened real fast in a scuffle.
I don't know how that even happened.
Yeah, it was really, really quick. And anyways, Mark acts like an anchor. Falls straight to the ice while dragging Emma down, and she ends up using the knife that was in Bobby's shoulder and stabs him in the other eye.
Yeah.
So a little payback again. She has a thing for stabbing people in the eye, and then he drowns.
And then she swims up and
can't
find the hole.
Get out of the ice. She has a knife in her hand but can't get out of the ice. That's a very long scene that happened.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But then she ends up getting up and survives.
And then you hear the police
siren. And then the police sirens come. She throws the ring into the lake, and credits roll.
Yeah.
And the most interesting part is that the credits have storyboard titles.
Yeah.
Or tiles, I mean, that were slightly animated. Like you had mentioned that it reminds you of The Mandalorian, the credits of The Mandalorian. So that's pretty interesting because, it was probably the most artistic thing in the movie.
Yeah.
Because the movie was fucking bland when it came to the artistic portions of it. The
For
only
sure.
color that we got was in the photo development room, the red room.
Well, and the red blood everywhere all the time.
Yeah, I guess. But that even then it was so dark. Like it was just supposed to be, again, like that cold, dingy movie. It reminded me a lot of Suspiria,
Yeah.
With like, it looked very grim. It was snowing, and it was like the only color that we got was the blood, so it was just whatever. Yeah. How we rate movies around here is a real simple thing. We either pick it, meaning that you should go and watch it yourself, or flick it, meaning we watched it so you don't have to. And then we give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 the worst, 10 being the best, because sometimes you can flick a movie, meaning it's not worth watching, but it has a little bit of a different feel or story development that puts a little bit higher on the list, which for me happens more often than not.
Yes.
So, did you pick or flick?
I picked it.
Did you?
Yeah. It was, it's fast. It was a quick
An hour
movie.
and a half,
it's not
yeah.
like I felt like I wasted my time or whatever. It was very...
Yeah.
What did you do? Pick or flick?
I flicked it.
Flick? Okay.
Yeah, it's not worth... To me, there's plenty of other hour-and-a-half movies that you could watch that were worth it.
Yeah.
This was very generic, very to the T, predictable, and didn't do anything that I was like, wow, that is so unique. It was just a standard thriller action movie that Netflix slapped together and put on the screen. Yeah. So that's it. Scale of 1 to 10, though.
5.
I gave it a 5 as well.
Okay.
It's not the worst thing ever. I got a little anxious in some parts because there was some long, drawn-out like chase scenes and stuff, but it was just middle of the road.
Yeah.
Acting was fine. There was nothing that I was like, wow,
Yeah, Megan, like you said, Megan Fox is just very bland.
She's bland. That's
like
all it is. She's not a bad actor. She just doesn't do anything.
She's
that's
not great.
No, but Mark was pretty bad. The husband was bad.
Barely. He was barely in it though.
Yeah, right. And he was supposed to be a dick.
Yeah.
But I've seen characters that are supposed to be dicks that you're like, wow, he can really fucking act.
Right. You're like,
but there was nothing astonishing, and there was nothing bad. It was just middle of the ground,
Yeah.
end of the story. So 5 out of 10. I agree with that.
5 out of 10 is not bad.
No, we've seen worse.
Exactly.
We've seen way worse. If you're interested to see what we are continuing to watch this month, we are releasing a review every single day in the month of October for the Halloween Extravaganza number 3. Be sure to subscribe and follow along with us. Give us a comment on what you think if you've seen this movie or any of the other movies that we've watched. And give us a like, because apparently that helps keep views coming our way.
Yes.
So until next time.
Until death do us part.
Oh, we're not married yet.
Not
I get
us.
it. Jeez. I get it. See ya.
Bye.